So I think we are live right now, most probably, right? We are live, right? So, okay, yeah, we are live. So, our okay, hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Mike Warlian, and today in this video, we are gonna be okay. It's not a video, so it's stream. So today in the stream, we are gonna be learning like building softwares and code and stuff like that. So which definitely involves Python. For like, yeah, I think everything like that do definitely involve Python. Okay, let me just minimize myself because looking at myself in this camera just sucks. Okay. Yeah, I think we are like, yeah. So you can see like, so last time I was actually checking this function called unit test, right? And I was like learning about this topic because like I was really new at it and was kind of like trying to debug and things like that. But actually, let me tell you, like I've done about a 30 or 40 hours of like coding by myself behind the screen or something, you can say, because like right now, so it doesn't actually, because like as you've already read the thumbnail, it's like 1,000 days of coding, right? And it's like I've already kind of like got some of the days, but we're gonna count it from today, right? We are not gonna include all the past days that we kind of had, right? So yeah, we are definitely gonna include that, right? So there's lots of topic that I've already got, and like from strings, like I'm gonna show you like one by one what the topics I've already understood. So like I've only got the basics though, like I've never nothing special, and this is like I haven't been coding for the last 1 week because I had to buy stuff for streaming, I had to like do the setup, and then there was like a, like a lot of different stuff, and there was like a festival that happens to be there, and then I have to like celebrate with others, even though I do not share the same religion. And let's just keep that the secret what the festival was. I think you already know it, but right. So a lot of things happened. So I haven't been coding for about 1 or 2 weeks actually. Like, yeah. So that's why I do need to do a quick revision actually, so that we can get started. And yeah, this is what my break screen looks like. If you ever join a stream and see this thing, that means I'm on a break or something, right? So yeah, but you're definitely gonna not gonna see it now. Okay, let me just add like what do you call it? Mm, I think okay. So if you are streaming from YouTube, you have to go to the YouTube to actually kind of like see, for example, okay, the chat that people are having. So okay, that's all right. But here's the problem: if YouTube is in the background, then I'm not gonna know who's actually okay. Yeah. Well, it's kind of all right. I can just kind of like minimize it. Actually, I think I should download YouTube app or something, right? For real. I mean, for real. To get these things done and get a better job, I think I should add it to my to-do list. Uh, makes it up more efficient. Efficient. That's it. So that's what I can do. Right. Yeah. So that's yeah. So let me just quickly open up the notes. So this right here on your screen is the notes, right? But most probably I'm gonna be reading these notes from a different screen, guys. Right. So first of all, let me add another thing here. Like today's the day one, as you can see in the top left corner. The project build is one, concept manager 0. Like, yeah. So and I think we need to add a topic involved because I think we need to keep a track of topics, right? Or maybe maybe I think I need to download YouTube Studios, right? Right. And like tell uh okay, could you just get lost, buddy? Mm, YouTube Studio download if it's available for the PC, because I think for PC, I mean, okay, so there's no such app that is available. YouTube is available, but YouTube Studio is not available to download, which is not what I want, honestly. I mean, like I don't want. I hardly ever watch YouTube. I want a YouTube Studio, so doesn't really do anything, honestly. Right. So yeah. So okay, and I think topic involved. No, no, not topic involved. That sounds like a. Wait a sec. I could have a. Yeah. Current domain. Current concept. Current. Why the fuck it's not catching? Flow is not the best. I mean, they've actually improved, like, if you know what Flow is, like, it's one of the best things out there, but yeah. So we have current concept is Python. Right, not Python, actually. Unit test. Unit test. And we've got current domain, which is our Python. Okay. So now on the top left, you guys can see Python, and you guys can see a lot of stuff. So I've like concept masters. Here's like, which includes for loop and all that stuff. You have project build. I did actually build one project, which is actually pretty insane because it's about a regulator that tries to regulate itself using feedback or something like that. I kind of like imported cybernetics into it, and I'm gonna explain that. It's gonna be really fucking cool because, like, yeah, of course, right. And actually, let me just do something real quick. Like, what kind of cool title should we have for the video? Okay. I mean, I did intend it to just actually work as soon as I joined, and it's been 6 minutes into the live stream start, and I'm still not actually doing the real thing, which is kind of there's a reason behind this because I'm not prepared. This is my first time. What kind of title should I have? This is not my first time though. I have another channel and where I have actually done a live stream too about reading books, and if you're interested in those kind of things, you can join that too. Right. Let me just update it too for some reason. And we have watch a beginner fail at Python. Watch a beginner fail at Python. Yeah, I think okay. Until he makes his first million. Okay, guys, I know this sounds like, I mean, I'm not gonna make like, lie about it, but it kind of does sound like, like making 1 million kind of childish now that I think about it. Like it's 1 million. What are you talking about, right? But to be honest, I don't give a shit. We're still making 1 million, honestly. Right. So yeah, I mean, I literally don't give a shit. We're still making our first million in 1,000 days. I mean, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. Like, no one knows at the start. I'm gonna probably create a business or something out of it from a website that actually is a lot useful to the masses. But before that, I need to get the fundamentals, and then I need to start wipe coding. But what I realized, the biggest problem with the wipe code is that what people do is like they don't know what shit they're doing. Like, they do not understand dictionaries, how all the things happen. So when they do create something, it's like the AI is like literally doing everything for them, and they do not have the ability to think or even understand what the AI is building for them. So they just keep on giving like a prompt, like a parrot, and AI messes up, and it messes up hard. And the thing is, what the biggest thing is, even if AI becomes good enough to not mess hard, if you know the structure, what's happening behind it, you can have your own creativity going on, and you can, okay, if I want to create this is the way the AI is going to create it, and this is like another way, like how I can create it, and this is like another way which is far more efficient than this way. And you can give better prompts, you can understand how the system is functioning, you can look at the syntax and know what it did, why it failed, why the bug even appeared, right? You're not just behind, waiting for a god sense to, like, like, you actually understand what's going on. That's the main thing. You actually know, okay, this is a file that I created that kind of like transfer, and this file is connected to that file, and it's going to read from this file, and it's going to store the data. And so you can actually give it recommendation. Okay, you can do this, you can do that, and then do this, rather than saying, oh, create me an app that actually allows me to track my heart rate. You can say, or allows me to track my sleep. You can say, okay, first build a software that can actually understand like senses that come from my skin or something through a watch or something or whatever, and then it can make sense of it, and then it can actually, like, analyze, and you can say, okay, analyze this thing into that, do this, store this there, do this. It's like you're really efficient at ordering other people. That's what what I'm okay. Because syntax is gonna get automated. Not by now. Like I think in 3 years, in 2 3 years, syntax is gonna be completely automated. Or let's say in 5 years, within 5 years, like a lot of people, like even the pro programmers, would be using syntax. And that's just force multiplier. And we would be using those syntax to build businesses, right? Online businesses and a lot of stuff. Yeah, it may require a lot of advertisement, a lot of capital, and a lot of time. But you have these AIs to build that for you, and like yeah, so that's kind of a good thing to do, and it's honestly. Yeah, so I need like yeah, this is my first. This is like what I was working on, learning two, right? Yeah. And this is my learning one. Like learning is like two, like yeah. Uh so let's just start with the F strings. What strings are, right? What was F string? I don't remember. I do remember string. What was F string, guys? I don't fucking remember. Shouldn't I be the one who should remember that? I mean, like, if there is someone in chat who can tell me, okay, there's no one in chat. It's kind of obviously obvious, I guess. Right. My stream health is excellent though. I did thought of doing a research using this, using my chat GPT on about it. Huh. Yeah, but I didn't actually did that. By the way, guys, like another video is coming out on the Fin channel, on my first channel, like on Very Corellian. And like yeah, that's gonna be a banger of a video about sleep. Yeah, so this is the logo I made, and trust me, it took a lot of time and fucking tears. 1,000 days of building systems until I make 1 million. Could you imagine just how hard it is for me to actually design this Canva? It's like so beautiful, actually. Like it is really beautiful. I should have actually added my face. I tried to add my face in the center, like in literally this side, but it just didn't work out. My face was like a like an animal that isn't supposed to be on this picture. It just was so aesthetic, and my face was kind of ruining the vibe. So I just took out my face, and I was like, my head should be here, but then my body wasn't showing up at all because it's like just my head coming out of the like so it looked weird kind of or something, so I just took it out or something. Yeah, man. Yes. Okay, by the way, in the background you can see the sleep thingy. So it's about I'm creating a YouTube video on sleep. Right, so it's an analysis of sleep. If it comes out, I'm gonna just spam the video link in the description of all of my stream, because it's my one of the biggest projects, right? I think that's gonna get my channel about 5,000 to 10,000 views, or something, or at least something close to that. I hope to achieve 5,000 views through using that video, right? Like all of my videos are just not doing anything. They all have 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4 or 5 views. So I thought I need to have a good video with a good editing and with a lot of scripting and things like that. So that's also coming out. So that's my first biggest step to actually not only monetize, but become like at least known by a couple of people, I guess, that I exist or something online or something like that. Right. And the thing is, what I do realize is that YouTube takes a lot of time to actually recommend your video to something, because I think it did recommended my video to a set of people, but those set of people just happened to not click on the video, or if they did, they didn't actually watch a lot of it. Because here's the thing, what YouTube does is like it kind of like takes a small little groups and test your video slowly over the time. That means you must upload a lot of videos for it to test against a lot of people, a lot of different types of people, right? So, and once it finally catches, okay, that this guy actually works upon these kind of videos and create this kind of stuff, then finally YouTube recommended to the people it understands is most likely going to watch. Like it doesn't know anything about the customers or about you, it just knows about retention or something like that. So yeah, and there's this one. Huh. Okay, I must say that if you look at this one is far better in terms of attraction, I guess, than this one. But this one is just aesthetically superior for some reason. Like this one worked better as a thumbnail because it has a human face, and it just happens to turn out that a lot of times the good thumbnails are the ones with a human face. So yeah. And now enough of talk. I think we have done enough talking for now. Like really enough talking. There's only 10 minutes in. All things are set up. It's time to just work, baby. Stretching feels the best in the morning. Man. My entire body feels good now. Wait a sec. Let me just drink some more. And then we'll start. Oh man. Okay, so it's a projector. That's why you're seeing what you're seeing on the screen. So this is how you guys look at the screen. Right. I mean, I think it's pretty much visible what's on the screen, I guess. So it's all right. Actually, it's good doing this, right? We can just close it in a sec, though. Yeah, time to show my face. Yep. So let's get started. Like, so what are strings? What was F string? I do not remember because this was about me doing all of this about a month ago or something. So of course I do not remember everything, right? But don't worry, we're gonna learn a lot of things. So if you are just starting up Python or now, you're gonna understand a lot of stuff too with me. We're both gonna learn together, right? And it's a passing test, so okay. Okay, I should share my screen. This is my Obsidian unit test. I think I need to do quite a revision on unit test too because it's like a okay, actually I don't need to do any kind of like a revision on it, I suppose. Yeah. Like let me just quickly check something out, guys. Testing your code. I just got 6 hours of sleep. Now to a lot of people 6 hours seems like a big number. To me it's kind of short. I sleep about 8 or 9 hours a day. And now you're gonna understand from this video in the background, as you can see there, like from the sleep, that why you need to sleep 8 hours a day. And if you think that you shouldn't be sleeping 8 hours a day, then it's gonna blow up all of your meds because we just literally did the research on it. Like this book, like Matthew Walker, Why We Sleep. I literally read the entire fucking book, man. Not the entire book. It's just 70%. Like I've like how much I've completed. It's like okay, I'm here. So it's like 223 pages or something. So and the book has about 336. So I think it's about 70% of the book, 70 to 75, or maybe like 80%. Who knows? Like somewhere about 70, 75%, I suppose. Yeah, somewhere about 75% of the book is done. Yeah, man. Okay, let's get back to the work. Okay, what I was doing. Let's open up my ChatGPT. My Badu ChatGPT. Okay. As you guys can see, ChatGPT is on my screen too. Let's check it out though. Okay. So so ChatGPT, what I want you to tell me is like what is F string? I mean, I do know what strings are. What is F string? I'm so childishly able. This is flow, right? Okay, ChatGPT. Okay, ChatGPT. Zippity. Okay. That's why I think Flow doesn't do a good job at understanding my accent for some reason. Is it some sort of an enemy with me or something? Let me just get it close to my mouth or something. Yeah, maybe this time it's gonna work better. I think you guys can also hear me better. I do know what strings are. What if a string is just a formatted string? Ah, format. Oh yeah, this F thing. Ah, you used to call it F string. Fucking forgot that. So we got F strings here. We got no, not this, not. We've got F strings, and how F strings kind of like allows you to add things. And these are strings. So strings are pretty much objects that Python actually can understand and read. This is like the string. This is like the variables, and this is like the equality, which kind of like equals them. So now Python actually assigned the string, as you can see this at the top. If you see at this top, you can see this UV thingy right here is like, you know, UV rays or whatever, or the daemon here right here. It's like this is supposed to be the string, and this is supposed to be the variable, and Python store the string in its like, you know, it's in its whatever where it stores it using like, yeah, and we can recall this string using what hero, right? I can add whatever the fuck I want in this. Like, I can just keep on adding. And here's the thing, everything is now stored as the work on hero. So you can like literally compress. I can just decrease the hero to, let's say, h, and I can just store a lot of data and recall a lot of data just by using it. Of course, I'm not gonna do that. Like for now, let's just keep it beautiful and aesthetically clean, right? So that is what we got here. And there's one thing I'm realizing, that this should be here. Right, guys? I think this should be just above my head, because, I mean, like, yeah, just above my head. Because, I mean, like, yeah, this part is like being cut off, and I think this is the important part. I mean, we do have terminal here, right? If I run the program. Right. So you won't be able to see much of terminal, but then again, like, terminal is big, and I'm most probably be playing with the up part of it, so you would be able to see most of it. So yeah, this reorganization mattered, I guess, slightly. Yes, and let me just quickly do a preview, guys. Wait a sec. Let me just quickly do a preview so that I can see. Yeah, you guys would be pretty much able to understand what's going on here with this little thingy right there, right? Yeah. So let's close the terminal once again. So now we have, like, here you can see what we are doing is we are using an F string, right? There's a reason why I did that. It's just bothering. Yeah, so hello UV, take whatever. So you have F, and then you can have, like, yeah, so you can take whatever inside these person invalid into the result. Right. So we have curly brackets. So what it does is, like, it's kind of like adds and insert it. So this is also the power of F strings. So what they allow you to do is pretty much you can append any data inside the data using F string and print it, right? So rather than adding it manually, you can insert it in between, right? So, like, rather than saying, like, okay, here, as you can see, I know it's kind of small, but like, rather than you can just, you know, like typing 18 or taking the answer and then adding it or appending it, like, you could just directly do this, and yeah, it just works out. I'm 18 years old. This is like, this too, like, you can directly do this. Once again, the same thing. Oh, and you can do this too. Yeah, of course, you can definitely apply functions to the object inside it. An F string is a string prefix with an F that allows you to embed variables and expression directly inside this. This is the main crux about F strings, actually, and I'm going to take a note of that because that really is kind of true, right? So that if I just ever recall that, I would be variables, Control C, and we can have expression directly inside it. Yes. Yes, sir. We got it. Right, so we already got, like, the embed variables and expression. So this is what your F strings was supposed to be. Like, yeah. Let's just save that. Methods, and now we have simple methods. Methods are simple function then you can apply, right? So let's go with this again. So ChatGPT, weren't methods were simple functions that you can apply on specific data types? Factor pretty words. How does ChatGPT turns out to be this? ChatGPT. ChatGPT. I think it has a hard time understanding word ChatGPT. ChatGPT. Yep, you can see it says ChatDipDD. Yeah, it is really having a hard time. I knew that from the past too, but today it's having a hard time. ChatGPT. I should stop saying ChatGPT then. It's a habit. Methods. And also let's talk about methods. More simple function that you can apply on specific data type. That are actually part of a certain class, right? That's pretty good first approximation. A method is essentially a function of a particular type of object or a class. Oh, so we did got that right. I thought we may got that wrong really bad, but we did got it right. All right. Like, yeah. Okay, that's just my another mic or something. You guys don't have to worry about what I'm doing. Yeah, let's just keep it aesthetically pleasing for everyone to look at who's looking at it. Yeah. So I think I should change my t-shirt too. It looks really bad. I mean, it is really bad and kind of an old in one tone, but I think it's all right at this point. Right. So, for example, a string has a method. Yeah, and this is what exactly we do in classes too. Upper name asks the object itself to perform its operation. Sorry for that. Name is UV and print named upper. Right, so we got a function. Method upper only exists because name is a string. Yeah, it's a string. It doesn't. Right, because this object has to be a part of a data type. I mean, I think we need to take reflections here. So this is what I do. I took daily notes. It's like what you pretty much do is you don't actually take daily notes. What you're pretty much doing is like just writing down your thoughts. It's like you have a data which belongs to a class, and classes has methods that belongs to themselves, right? So, and then we use the methods to iterate onto the data. Right, guys? Definitely. That's exactly what we're doing, bitches. So what are classes? Classes are pretty much nothing, but it allows you, they call it a blueprint or something, but you can think classes of as the ability to 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 categorize data, right? I mean, I know this is not the standard definition of classes, but this is what my perception have come out of it, right? Okay, wait a sec. I've taken the notes on it. Yeah. Yeah, so class is a blueprint for creating objects. Yeah, that's what I wrote. So it's not a blueprint to actually map out something in real. It's just a different ways you can actually reorganize a certain set of specific data, right? And then you can assign certain set of functions to it. So for example, what Python is pretty much doing all the time, it's like It's always having these functions that kind of iterate data into something else. So for example, an f string, what happens is like you have the f string. So what it's doing is like it takes data, which is like Ada and Lovelace, and it kind of like allows you to add them up, like allows you to iterate in a way that you want it to happen. Like, you know, you have this title, and what this title is doing is like it's changing the data slightly in a way you want it to change it. That's pretty much what it's doing recursively again and again, right? So here you can see like addition, and what this is what exactly Python is. Like you just take certain form of data, right, and you just iterate it again and again to make use of it. That's what pretty much what you're doing. Like, and that's what always what you're doing. And a lot of time the data and iteration that happens over the data only makes sense to you because you're a human. Let's say if another species or another organization, like, you know, from alien or something, they would be actually have a different set of data, and they would like to have different sort of iteration. Let's say they have a different language, so they would be not writing here the hero attacks the, and then, you know, monster or something, which is like the demon. So attack is something like, they wouldn't be writing that. They would be writing the blah 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 blah, like whatever their language is. Let's say that their language like sis sassy, something like that. So they would be like sis sassy plus like a monster, and whatever they call a monster. Let's say they call monster an ice cream or something. So they're like CC sassy plus an ice cream. But it's like at the end of the day, the language may change. It's just iteration happening on data, right? So if let's say there's a user who's playing the game, like they only there, there's no meaning to this, right? There's no literal meaning. Like for example, Python doesn't know what the hero that attacks is or the monster. They don't fucking know shit. They don't know shit. But what actually happening? Same goes for the ChatGPT or something. I mean, what's happening is these like it's a larger language model. They do not understand language. They just predict. It's like a probabilistic approximation of what comes next, if you know what LLMs are, right? And same goes with the Python. Like none of this system, none of this, any of this actually understands anything. It's just that we want certain iteration out of this data, and that iteration that happens is useful for us in terms of creating game, in terms of creating data sets, in terms of understanding markets. That's why it's helpful. There's no real sense to any of this. Literally. like it's just that we make sense of it, right? And it only makes sense to us. Okay. So we were at guys, we were at methods and stripped, like, yeah, something like that. Yeah, so that stripped, like, these are methods that belongs to strings, right? This doesn't apply to integers, or does it? Like the title doesn't though. But I think this would kind of do, right? And the different the data type, the more you can have like different functions for it, I suppose. Yeah, upper methods. The deeper reality is what you write. Python roughly doing something like string.upper behind the scene. String contains methods such as upper, lower, replace, strip, slip. Similarly, numbers equals to list contains append, remove, and sort. And there's also pop, which kind of likes to remove the top. So lists also have different kind of things. A tool sitting on the table. Method is a tool stored inside a specific. Huh. Yeah. So we have different functions, and job of function is to do something that you want it to do. Right. So for example, print words, it does nothing. It literally does nothing, but it just print words, right? So what is your name? My name's Varric. Brilliant. What's your age? My age is 18. Okay, so that's your name, Vark Warlian, and your age is 18. So it's pretty much does nothing, right? That's your name, and it's 18. Now it should work slightly efficiently, I suppose. What's your name? My name's Varric Verlian. What's your age? My age is 18. Yeah, it kind of the exclamation marks add a kind of charm that, yeah, that you can't reject, I suppose, too honestly. Right. Mm-hmm. And I think I could add it on another line. Is that possible? Oh, it's not possible. Really? Can I not do that? Mm-hmm. I think I can. I think, how do we actually add it on a multiple lines? Was it something like this? I don't remember. But it's all right. I mean, you can have it in one line, though I would love to appreciate into another line or something. Maybe you do this. Nope, you don't do that. I don't know how do you make it into multiple line. I can ask ChatGPT, but I'm pretty lazy to do that. And let me just quickly see if we are getting what we want. Actually, you know what? Let me just turn off suggestions. How do you turn off suggestions? Okay. I can't actually turn it off. Widgets, I guess, are alright, I suppose, slightly. Right. Oh, we have methods. So we have strip white case with strips. So yeah, we've got methods too. Now we have new line, tabs, integers. We have another stuff. So new line is not something special. What it does is like just adds a new line. So there's like a gap or something. So okay, what the hell? Yeah, so it's like it just adds a new line. Okay, there's a different way. I actually try to create a profile, right? Which kind of like looked aesthetically, like this one's look aesthetically clean. This one's is also good enough. Albert Einstein once said, "A person who never made a mistake never tried anything new." It is kind of basic. If you had a philosophical guy, he can pretty much smell that Albert Einstein wasn't philosophical at all. Basic math here, yeah. But I guess yeah, he was kind of like scientific and rigorous. So this doesn't make sense. And we have the age of universe too here printing out. Right, and oh yeah, we can actually also write the Python to this is like equal. So if you can see, this is like a simple thing to Python. Hey, is that big? All right. Yes, sir. Now we give Bob del append remove py. I'm really tired. The thing is, I've not been able to get a good sleep for the last couple of days because of a lot of work. Because, like, yeah, a lot of work. Even though I'm a dropout, not exactly a dropout. I did complete a high school too. Or nor did I actually start at college. I just never went to college. Like, yeah, I'm still 18, so I completed last year and read a lot of books since, like, I've been habit of, like, yeah. So since the last year, I was trying to develop understanding of reality, and I think that compound, and that's when I realized reading books, like reading better books, are important, and yeah, that's why we got this PDF right here, on our site, which pretty much allows us to understand a lot of stuff. But sometimes, like, I'm kind of tired, like today. Oh man. But today I can't sleep. What I did realize, the reason why I'm not able to sleep early at night is like I get 6 hours of sleep and then I sleep in the afternoon or in the early morning. And that the biggest problem that it causes is like it kind of like shifts my sleep cycle. So because I sleep in the afternoon or in the early morning, I have a hard time sleeping early at night, right? So this was a problem that was happening because I did get about in 7 hours of, like, yesterday I slept for like 6 hours and then I got 1.5 hour of sleep at the later. So it's like 7 hours to 7.5 hours. So that's why I didn't fall asleep at night. And if today I only slept for like 5 hours and 50 minutes or something, right? Or 40 minutes. Like, and now if I go back to, let's say, now sleep or something, I mean, or in the, like, not right now, but in the afternoon or something, like I still got the 8 hours sleep, right? That's why I won't be able to sleep early at night. So today I can't do that too. So that's why it's gonna be like a lot of energy hassle. Here's a simple function that takes in the first and the last name and returns neatly formatted full name, testing a function. Yeah, but I mean, we are not testing the function. We have the basic concept: pop, del, append, remove. So pop is pretty much you pop it off. Del is pretty much you delete it off. Append is pretty much you add it on. Remove is pretty much kick it out. That was kind of a good. Right. So I mean, I don't know why I'm seeing it in my face. I just look so fucking nice. Okay, I don't. That was such a narcissistic thing to say, honestly. But I'm not a narcissistic, guys. Returns nothing. It just kind of like removes it off. Insert an element is just insert as a choice. This is how you add it on in a list or something. Oh yeah. I now remember we did have an insert thing too. Insert allows you to insert any object at a specific point. So if I want, this is like 0, 1, 2. If I want like something here in between, like here, not here, like here, right at 0, 1, and 2. So like I can literally insert it. So it's like if I were to run the code, it's like hey, it did insert it, but it didn't print it. What? Or maybe the file wasn't even selected in the first place. Now is it selected? Yep. Hello, red line. I don't know why it pops up like that, but okay, we did insert it power. So it's like power, red line, and money, power, red line, because we must have deleted Trek and Cat Dolly or something. So we had z.a.pop returns the remove element. So specialized. Oh, yeah. Oh, it returns pop. Does not actually just remove what's at the top. It actually, and then you can add like a specific position. Let's say just add 0, 1. So it will return Candelini or something. Candelini at the rate remove Candelini removes the element. But that's, when did the remove happen? A dot remove Candelini. Ah, there's no candle, there's no element. Removes the element. Hashtag. Oh, this hashtag is also showing. Pop del append 21. List remove X is not in the list. Since we actually appended Candelini and this deletes the Candelini, what happened is like there's an error because it's not able to remove that. That means it pretty much worked. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's not able to delete that or remove that. Okay, delete 0. That means it deletes the Turk and Candelini. So how about we just pop, I don't know. Let's just go with the 3. So it's just like 0, 0, 1, 2, which is power, yes, and red line is 3 because like this thing is dynamically changing. So we just take out the line, like it appends money. So now what would happen? Trek, like it's delete, right? So 0 gets Trek gets delete, candle line gets removed, power gets appended here, red lines remains the same. No, redline is getting add 2 because I did that, right? And it's going to show at the Z because if I print Z or something, right? Oh, or does it show it even if I don't print Z? That's the mystery. Let's see. Oh, it shows it even if I don't actually print the Z, which is a good thing. So, yeah. Oh no, I have print Z. What the fuck I'm talking? Yeah, I mean, like, I'm like, what? Yeah, I literally doubted myself when I said that. Yeah, I print Z, so yeah. And I've print A. Print A is like, okay, what's left of this? Like, yeah, it's power, specialized, and money. That's what happened. Now we have fruits. Fruits have almonds and oranges. I think we are gonna append. We append almonds. We append orange. No, fruits is an empty list, so it got appended all of that. And then we have print fruits, which is almond and oranges. But then we have y equals orange. Print fruits dot y. So now we are removing orange, right? So we have print fruits. Now there's only almonds. A star reverse equals to print A. What does Oh, reverse. We can reverse it. So it's money power specialized rather than it's power specialized money, right? A dot reverse print A. Reverse this to reverse the order. We reverse it again. Print A prints length of A, and like we also printed the length. Like yeah, now you know. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I did create this infinity generator. So what it does, like it pretty much tells you, it's a for loop that allows you to generate infinity, right? So what it does is pretty much x like value in infinity. So let's say value is just 1, right? So it just added that, like so now it's 2 plus x, right? So sorry, 1 plus 1 2, which becomes x equals 2. Now we just have like infinity dot append x, right? So x, like the 2 gets appended and it prints x, so which is 2. So now what happens? It once again starts, if it sees like if there's some value, it just continues because it's a for loop. So it's like 2 in infinity, right? Value in, if there is value in infinity, which is 2. So now it gets 2 plus 1, which is 3, and this just keeps on going. It just keeps on looping. Right, something like that. And it just keeps on writing down the values of x, because like the increment in the value of x is happening by 1. That's why it shows us a counting that doesn't stop, right? And also pretty much tells us is the ability of the Python or something, right? But now what if we add this? Now as soon as you've done that, you've done a pretty bad job, because now the increase in number is going to be astronomical, right? And that's going to actually crash the program or something. We just have to cross it. Oh, I just have to close it. No, we just have to del it. Now we start with the really, really big numbers. And what if we don't start with 1? What if we start with this? I think this is gonna be a bad idea. Oh, is this pretty much remain the same? Ah, because 4, 3, 2 plus all of that. Mm-hmm. But I don't still like it. Like let's just why not this, right? Like why not that if we can do it? I mean, this is a really bad idea to do. Ah, but there's one thing I realized in addition. The Python's computation isn't, oh my gosh. Let me just show you guys something. Right. If you have +1, it doesn't pretty much do fucking any shit, right? But what if we add multiply 8? That's it. Now this is gonna explode and the computer's gonna start to lag. What did I told you? Exceeds the limit of Italian for integers having like conversion. Using syntax to increase the limit. Use system.index.string the max is to increase the limit. So, oh my gosh, if we just start with A and within just couple of the answer, we got such an astronomical. But why the fuck the amount becomes astronomical in such a, what the hell? It doesn't make sense. Wait, what? So it's like 1 into 8, 8. That got print. And then 8, so 8, so now you have 8, so 8 into 8, 64, 64 into 8, something blah, blah, blah. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. And I think, okay, it happened, it exploded so quickly. Addition and multiplications are really different, man. Addition is like a accumulation of stock, but multiplication is like a runaway feedback loop. We have discussed about what runaway feedback loops in my other channel while I stream, so you can understand why it happened with the 8 but didn't happen with the 1. Like how addition and multiplication are different, because each time you have an outcome that increases the ability of the next outcome to be even more than what it previously was. This is why rich gets richer and poor gets poorer. If you understand feedback loop, so yeah, go check that out. Stream. So we got done with for loops like for, and then we have for cache in this. We have for warning types in this. We have issues in issues. We have cash and money. Books, willpower, denial of death, how to live. Will to power, denial of death, how to live. I mean, like, yeah, these are really good philosophical and like psychological books if you want to live. I don't know what how to live book is. I've never read anything like that. It's just something I must have appended on to the surface, and I don't like the name of the book. So let's go with what. Guys, what book shall we go with? Shall we go with trauma psychology? I don't think so. Shall we go with oh, How to Live by Epictetus. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I literally read that book about 3 years ago or something, and it's on there. How can I fucking not know the book I possess? Happens. If that happened to you guys, oh fuck, we are brothers and sisters. I mean, like literally, this does happen. You read a book, you forgot the title. If it's read years ago, right? So we have a range.py. So we can actually, we can actually like for loops kind of like just keeps on running as long as you have like the people, but we can actually limit that. So from limits, I mean, like we could actually decide how many times we want this for loop to run in a list or something. So we can create ranges, right? So that's actually good. And we can also assign how much distance do we want, right? So here we have 100 to 110. So what it pretty much does is like it pretty much checks through whatever the list or whatever the thingy that we have, and for example, take squares. So yeah, it kind of like goes with it. All right. So you have min scores, max scores, sum scores. I mean, like okay, minimum, maximum, and sum, right? Of a list which has integers in it. We have also len function here. So we have a lot of different functions when it comes to list. Sorry, not functions, methods, right? Yeah, actually, I should get this one from. ChatGPT, could you actually give me all the methods related to string, integers, list, and dictionaries, right? Like all the like yeah. And am I forgetting something important? What else data types do we have? Main data types, we have string, we have numbers, integer, float, complex numbers. Yep. We have sequence, list, tuple, range. Oh yeah, we have tuples too. I forgot that tuple are immutable list or something. And then we have range. Yep. But range is a sequence of number. Ah, so it's sequence. It's not considered like I thought list is just a lot of data bundled together, right? Rather than a sequence. Then we have mapping, dictionaries. Then we have set. What is a set? This? Okay, we haven't come to the set part yet. Boolean. Oh yeah. None type. None. Most important string methods. Upper, lower, title, capitalize, string, left string, R string, replace, split, join, start switch, end switch, find, index, count. Is alpha, is digit, is L space. Example UV is strip is. We have append, extend, we have insert, we have remove, pop. I don't know about the clear. We have index, we have count. I do know about the count. I do not know about the clear index. I do know about the sort. I do know about the reverse. We have copy too. What in list? I mean, so we can copy a list. Damn, didn't you? Dictionary. We have key dot keys dot values dot items. We have dot get. Okay. Dot update dot pop. Oh, we have pop. Oh, we have update pop in dictionary. Didn't knew that too. Okay, never actually been the part of set methods. Damn, didn't came out. I'm on the chapter of what? Let me show you guys. We are actually reading through this book. Right. We are actually reading through this book and we are already on like chapter number like testing your code 209. Like yeah. So I mean, I don't know where's like sets. They never introduce sets. Like for example, here getting started, variables and simple data types, introducing lists, working with lists, if statement, dictionaries, user input and while loops, function classes. Right. files and exceptions and testing your code. Files like how do you show files, like open file and stuff like that. Yeah, but from what I see, there's like yeah, right now I'm testing a code, but yeah, I mean, there's never been a. So we have set methods. What about integers? As, round, and pause. We do have a couple of them, which is like but these are not like yeah. Oh, we can also do this. Fuck, didn't knew. There's so much stuff I'm finding out through ChatGPT. That's why learning through ChatGPT is the best. Let me just add a test.py file, and let me just where it went. I also have a testing.py. I think it was pretty much empty because okay, we like help me guys, help me gang, help str. Okay, class string object. Boolean encoding error string. Create a new string object from object if encoding error specified. Add continuous Boolean type return value. And okay, there's actually more. There's यार मम्मा नॉक करके आया करो यार. Ha, that was embarrassing. Not embarrassing. My mom just came out of nowhere with eggs. Yeah, whatever. uh, yeah, that was unexpected. Like it's on the second floor of my room, so yeah. She really wants me to eat food, huh? I guess. Damn, I need to have big muscles, right? I'm going to gym or something, so. uh, I see. I did tell her that okay, I really dislike the eggs, but I guess someone has to eat them. Ha. Delete. So we got range from the sequences, I suppose. Could you create a summary of it so that I can copy paste it to my Obsidian notes? No, like just one note that I can copy and paste to Obsidian. Not so many notes in different sections, just one note. Python cheat sheet. What the hell? It's not a cheat sheet. But I guess we did got a summary that we needed, right? We can just copy paste it to my Obsidian notes. I did got a lot of notes about the thing. What shall I name it? All data types and their data. Not all. I don't think so. This is all data types. Data types and their methods. That's all we need. Control V, babies, LJ. Let's just minimize it a little. Let's just full screen. Yeah, so we have I think I should just show you guys too. All right. So we have here it created actually a good design, which is like a Python cheat data types or something. So data types method functions. Why is there f string? Like what the hell? Everything in Python is an object. Different data types have different methods, functions attached to the object, and these function allows us to perform iteration onto the data. All right, so we have string, which is text, integer whole numbers, float decimal numbers, boolean, we have list, we have tuples, immutable order collection, we have dictionaries, key value pair, we have sets, we have range, and we have none, which is absence of any value, ladies and gentlemen. So we have functions versus method. Okay, functions are something like you can create by yourself. Methods are something that is priorly attached to certain sort of data types. But before we actually start discussing about it, I think I need to go to the washroom real quick. I'll be back in a minute, okay? Actually, guys, it may take longer. It may generally take longer, so you can, like, yeah. I'll be back in 10, 20 minutes, like, because I do need to eat the eggs. Why disappoint my mom, right? Okay, guys, I'm back. I think about 10 minutes, if not 20 minutes. I think I should add a timer to my break or something like that. That would be awesome, right? How do we do that though? Let me add a source. Let me add a media scene text video capture group. Okay, let me just ask ChatGPT, my friend, to actually kind of like solve that simple problem for me. Um, okay, I probably shouldn't open up my like problem section on a stream. Oh yeah, I'm actually showing my face, so I can open it. Yeah. ChatGPT, how do I add this ability to uh record time or like a timer to my breaks? Or like I'm actually using OBS to stream, and I just want to like yeah record like the time of the break. How do I do that? Feels good. Timer tab. Go to the timer website. Like OBS. Go to browsers. Ah, you go to a timer tab. What does the stupid bitch even do? Professional streamer method uses she. Damn, this guy has so much protein in his body. Get started, get paid for what you missed. Okay. I think I'll do this later. I think we are kind of like streaming right now, so I'll just add this to my to-do list. Right, add a stream timer. Yeah, so let's just do this later. Because later on we are supposed to study Python, right? But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because I mean, I just need timer for you guys because I can always keep track of how much I studied because you can use this Platform.com activity watch. So what it pretty much does is like image gives you an idea. So we have been studying on like we have been using Visual Code for the 24 minutes, and we have been using ChatGPT related to programming for 9 minutes, and Obsidian for 7 minutes. So total learning is 40 minutes or something. Right. So, and there's a lot of time when I'm just speaking or not actually clicking onto something. So we can take, it's for about 40 to 50 minutes, but let's be spectacle and let's just take 41 as granted, right? So yeah, we have been studying for 40 minutes. So we have been streaming for about 40, like that's 80, which is like 1 hour and 20 minutes or something. Right, so we have been for half of the time we've been studying. So let's come back to studying now because studying is the most important thing that we have to do, guys, right? For real. So as we were talking, function is called a standalone tool. So function in itself is like something you can build and it's a tool that you've built. But method is like a function attached to an object. That means what happens here is like when you are actually using methods iterate over the data that we have, but it only iterate over specific sort of data. So method is like an association to specific sort of data. You're starting to see it. Right. And this is why this concept is so important in classes. Right. And so like, oh man, I should create a YouTube video on explaining classes in such a simple way because this understanding and insight would help a lot of people to understand. Right. So guys, if I were to really show it to you like how all of this is happening, I would say, okay, look, here's what's in here. So we have data, right? And then we have iteration. If you understand just these two things, I think you understand majority of what I'm trying to say. So let's say you have anything and you iterate. Iterate means like, okay, slight changes. Slight change, SLIGHT, slight changes. That's what iteration is. Data is like, and here, So in Python, we have objects, right? We have objects. So we can say, okay, we have objects, and those objects are pretty much what we call data here, right? The data, like with the age, the name, the place you live in, right? Any words, the letters, the alphabet, the integer, all of them are stored as object, but we can think in terms of data, that they are data that we provide to the language. Now, iteration on that data, that means, what does that mean now? Like in simple words, if we were to, now this is a really good video idea though, right? I can just like, yeah, data plus iteration, right? So data plus iteration, it's like simple in the most simple sense. It's like iteration done on data. That's what all pretty much means. So if you have, let's say 18, and if like that is the initial data, and then you created a function that allows you to plus 5, that is iteration. So functions allows us to automate iterations. That means we don't have to type it by ourselves. They do it for us. It's like automizing labor or something, right? So you don't have to type like, 18 plus like blah, 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 blah. You don't have to do that. The function does it for you. For example, here, once again, if you were to open up code or anything, you have like here. If we just move to the testing.py for me to explain it to you guys, and if we just kind of like take this and damn, and if we just kind of like come down here, and if we just say, let's say I have like a hero, no, not a hero, I have a value, and that value is like, let's say 12, and then I create a function def.add a value, okay, add value, and like now you'll say, okay, Varric, what is like add value? So what this do is like, it takes value as a parameter, of course, like it takes value, and then it's like value equals value plus, let's say 25, like 12 or something, right? So this is what automates it, and like it's like print value, right? And so it prints value, it kind of like gets a value. So this is like a function to us, right? If you just run it up, okay, nothing's happening. Why? Because I didn't do that. Add value. Failing publicly is the best, honestly. And we have add value. Let's just add value here, right? So now we've got 24, right? So this pretty much what happened. You create a function called def add value. So what it does, it adds value to the value. That's what pretty much it does, right? So this is a function, like, yeah, this function is not associated to value, not associated to tell. Any integer here, any integer would have the same results. Any value here would have the same results. For example, let's say you say, like, you just do, rather than adding 12, you should say, you add, hello, how are you, miss? Right, and then you have, like, money. Like, okay, hi. Like, yeah, so now you run the thing, and it's like hi, hello, or something, right? Like, you can just do that too for the more better looks. So you have hi and hello here, right? So it just kind of like adds them up. Like, the function doesn't really care about the data type, right? It just does its job. Like, so for example, right? But when you have a method, what method does is, like, for example, I have value dot right, and here we kind of like listed down all the function we had. Like, let's say I did upper, right? So it's an inbuilt function. Upper is an inbuilt function, but the problem with upper, or the advantage of upper, is that it's only applicable to a string, to this data type. So now what happens if I run it? You'll say hi, hello, and you have value.upper, and let's say we forgot to do one thing. Right, we forgot to do one thing. So now what you'll see, my friends, is like hi. Okay, as you can see, the output came here pretty beautifully, right? We cannot do that? I thought we could. Wait a sec, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I mean, so you cannot do it there. That's kind of sad, but it's all right. Oh, you can do it inside a string only, I suppose. Yeah, so now if we run it, we got ourselves high or something, I suppose. I don't know why it gives us 2-line though for some reason. Right. So now the upper is a method, whereas this function can be applied anywhere. I think you already got the distinction. And this is what exactly allows you to understand what class is, because class is what you're pretty much trying to do is you're trying to create a data, a specific data, right? And you then you do a specific iteration, and so it's like, so you assign, so you have a data which becomes a data type, right? So you have like a data type, data that becomes data type. All right, and then you have iteration. You perform iteration onto that data type. You perform iteration. So iteration pretty much means a method, right? So this is what class is. You create a new data type, right? And then you have then you apply a method to change that data type, and this is what iteration is, like a slight change to data. So you, let's say you had a car, and I'll give you a pretty good example here of the classes. For example, if I were to say we have classes.py, like look at, okay, no, classes2.py, look at, okay, here we have a lot of, you know, self version. So we have, what we are doing is like we have all of these data. Self.firstname doesn't mean anything at all in itself. It's just a data type, right? Not a data type, sorry, it's just a parameters, the data. You give data through inputs like feeds onto this and the first self.username becomes a way to recall this data. Now what happens when you have self.username, right? And then you actually apply like greet user, like this is like a method that we have created, which is like a specific to this class only. So when I say self.greetUser, self is like the instance of the class, right? Okay. My understanding is not the best on this. Yeah, so an instance, yep. Instance is like a data type that belongs to that class, right? So an instance would like have all of this associated to it, like because, so these are attributes. This is what we call. So instances are the objects belonging to a data type, just like how we can see it here. Like for example, I did take the note. So you have, let's say, you have like classes, integer list, type 10. Like 10 is an instance of class integer, right? Actually, blueprints. Types are actually blueprints, right? Big question. So list is like the type is list, the methods are this, the type is this. The type can change and the methods will change proportionally, right? So if you have a class dog, right, and then you have species this, that means every object can now access species. That means any new instances of this class could access these attributes. And if they can access these attributes, they cannot just access the attributes, they can also access the functions, specific functions just assigned for them and assigned for these specific attributes. Oh my god, this is how it functions. So it's like, and not just only have specific methods, you also have attributes. These attributes also data. Store data in proportion. I think we jumped too fast from ranges to classes, which is like not at all the same thing. So we were on range, and now let's go to class. Oh, slice. Slice is like taking certain part of a list, which is not that big of a deal. We have this here, join words, now. Right. But can you make me visualize ChatGPT? I mean, that's what I want my buddy ChatGPT to do, I suppose. I mean, for example, I take out the Obsidian now, right, guys? Where we talked about the data types here. Like, yeah, so we have upper, lower, capitalized. We have all kind of stuff, and then we have like useful functions, min, max, sum, abs, round. Yeah, and then we have f strings. I think I do not need an f string. Like I do already know that. Sorry, but I think we need to discovering methods. Actually, let's just add a dictionary example. Whole documentation. Data is objects. Objects are methods. Class defining methods. Function independent. Actually, can you create a good image of? ChatGPT, could you tell me, give me a good image of how class functions? Already, I do know, like, okay, class have instances, which are like the type of, like, which, like, so with classes, you create instances. So with class, you create an entirely new data type. Instances are the objects that belongs to that data type. Methods, then we have methods that kind of like can do some function upon that data type, and then we have attributes. Actually, majority of the time these methods are changing the values of those attributes that are associated to that instance, right, which is a data type for the classes. But what I want you to do is like make me visualize how that simple structure can allow us to model a lot of things in reality. Like I want you to like, yeah, because this is how I'm going to build complex systems, right? How can we use classes? I don't want you to give me the syntax. I want you to give me the theory, right? And make me understand how almost everything can be modeled, right? Like either you can also show it through syntax or whatever. Just give me the ability to see. Theory of a thing. Imagine reality itself. You have dog, cars, humans, bank, countries, YouTube channels, video game. Notice something? Each has a state, what it currently is, behavior, what it can do. A dog has a state, age, weight, name, behavior, bark, run, eat. A bank account is a balance and owner, behaviors, deposit, withdraw. A YouTube channel has state, subscribers. Effective variables that determines the state of the system. Right, so a dog have like a body temperature, like food, age, health, a lot of different things, and there's some state transitions like behavior that happens because of those states. A class is simply a way to package those two things together, state and behavior, into one coherent object. But I mean, this is not what true reality is. True reality is far more complex integrations of processes that are simultaneously happening under the laws of physics, and like, yeah, all systems trying to negate entropy from purely physics perspective. And what is life, if you know that about Schrodinger? It's one of the most best books out there, how life feeds on negative entropy or something. But the blueprint analogy is incomplete, right? Class is blueprint. That's true, but not deep enough. A better class is species. What class human is not a human, it's a concept of human. Then, like Owe, Ahmad, John, right? Like the part of human are actual human. Notice what all humans have. Class defines what all humans have. The instants are individual manifestations. Ah, class are not a blueprint but a species. That's an entirely new way to see it. So, I mean, it's technically not a species, right? But from species, he means like inheritance, like we have inheritances, right? How you can one class can get from another class, but it's like in the object and a class in itself is some sort of inheritance going on because as soon as you have like the Ahmad and the John and the Oves or whatever, like you as soon as they are the part of it, it's like they inherit attributes and functions. So behavior and states, they inherit that. The classes defines what all humans have. Like, yeah, the instances are individual manifestations, just like biology. Each has properties and action. These most interacting. Reality is mostly objects interacting. Look at around you. We don't see where you see objects. Phone, ball, chair, laptop, table, fan. Each object contains property. A fan's properties. Speed, color, power, status. Turn on, off, and create. Which determines the behavior. I mean, So behaviors, what states are and how they pretty much changes for humans, like how glucose changes, how ability to reduce uncertainty, that's the job of the brain, changes over time. Why class becomes powerful. The class appears when object starts interacting. Example, player, enemy, weapon, bullet, inventory cards. Imagine a game. A bullet knows mid speed. A player knows health, inventory, location. A weapon knows damage and ammo. Now, player uses weapon. Weapon creates bullets. Bullets damages enemy. You start building a network of interacting objects. The game becomes an ecosystem. But how is it happening? Player uses a weapon, so there's a class. Like does weapon inherits from player, or player inherits from, or is it just like a you have an instance which is like a player? Sorry, instance of the class called player because player has a health and which keeps tracks of health, inventory, location. Player has a weapon, or player uses weapon. Oh, there's this one thing I'm remembering. Oh, if I could find it though. If it's not here, I can just find it in my code that I built it. Cybernetics in code. This is what we call instances. Car has battery. I do remember. I just have to search it. I'll look it up. I just literally closed my Obsidian. What the hell I'm doing? Ah, here. Attributes has class. Well, look at it. We got a photo. Ah, attribute has a class. That means, oh, yeah, I finally remember it. That's how we're. So attributes can be associated with a class. So when you, okay, oh my God. So when you have uh here, so I can just create an age. I can just create a like a class called age, which pretty much tracks age. Okay, I can not age. Let's just say something like weapons. Like, of course, first name, last name, location, and or let's say crimes, the crime someone did, or let's just say weapons, right? So now we have weapons, right? Right, my okay, right, and then we can go on with the class that calls. That's not class. That's weapons, and then we can have def dot underscore underscore init underscore. We have a self, and I don't think so we need anything more than that. And then the self would contain a, anything. So we can have weapon, which actually, like, if but can I access self dot weapons? Like, how can I access self dot weapons? So if I create a function that could actually interact with self dot weapons, that means it directly interacts with this class. So now this user has a weapon, and in weapons we would have instances, right? Like, for example, we are modeling a weapon, like states and a behavior, right? So what a weapon does. All right, I mean, we need to track damage, right? Damage. Okay. Damage and power levels. we just need to track damage. So we have self dot damage, which is pretty much, I don't know. This is not dot actually. So what did self dot damage tracks? Minus 50, right? It has it is assigned something like this, right? So now what do we have here? Is that an attribute associated with that, and now how that class becomes part of self-dot weapons? And how that self-dot weapons is a part of a bigger class? But honestly, I'm still not getting it. Okay, yeah, complexity is high. Like, what? How do we? Let's say you're standing in a game, and let's say you have a weapon. You pick up the weapon. Let's say there's a function that allows you to pick up the weapon. You picked it up. Now you have an instance of this class. Let me say I have an instance of, let's say I have a weapon called knife, KNIFE, right? Knife dot weapons, right? So I have that, and I can say like there's damage that I could have. I mean, self dot. I could just take in like data. Like if it's a knife, um, is that how you used to recall classes? Oh my gosh. I mean, I haven't decoded for 2 weeks now, so my and I started learning different concept, and I didn't revisit the old one. How did you used to call the class? Damn. Fuck, revision is so important. How did we used to call a class? Okay, damn. Okay, I get it. I literally created code that complex, but I forgot a lot of stuff because, like, honestly, I haven't coded for a long time now. I'll be honest, more than 3 weeks, not 2 weeks. I was lying. Actually, I don't know how long has it been since I last code. Let's wait a sec. You have okay. Today I coded. I didn't code it yesterday. Not like yeah. Damn. Like last time I coded was So I haven't been coding for I guess. Oh, I coded about last 4 minutes for about how many days? It's 22 new 2 last month. It's 6, so that's 8 plus how many days did we had in the last month? We have like 31. So 22, so it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14, 15, and 16. So last time I coded was not 16 days ago. It was it's still not showing. Oh, it's finally showing only 30 minutes. Let's not include that because in those 30 minutes I must have learned a new program. Oh, finally. I coded about 18 days ago last time for real. So 80, it's about more than 2 weeks. It's not 3 weeks though, but yeah, it's more than 2 weeks, man. And that was like in classes I learned about the last month. So damn. Revision is important, but what's more important than revision is like continuously getting into the code. If you actually have like if you take a break, you forget a lot of stuff. I'm fucking experiencing it firsthand. It happens with like same with the math and the stuff, with physics too. I mean, like yeah, but oh my god, this is like I don't know anymore. Like for real. How did you used to call a class? Let me just open up my notes once again and let me just search classes. I'm sorry to sound like that. Let me just open up the classes. This guy talks about self, blah, 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 self name, we assign it attributes. Like one of the biggest problem with this guy, Matthew Walker, not Matthew Walker. Matthew Walker is the guy who wrote Why We Sleep. This guy what was his name again? Eric Mathis, right? This guy just throws concept in you and doesn't actually explain a lot of stuff. This is supposed to be one of the best books out there. It gives you everything you need to know about the basic Python. But explanation, understanding, concept, integration, compression, they're fucking trash level. You would not understand what all of those concepts means if you haven't read that many books that I've read. But let me tell you, there's one thing called compression, the ability to explain a lot of concept with a very simple definition. This guy doesn't do that. He understands everything in his brain. I can understand it. It's so effortless for him to actually write all this, like from his explanation. But his effortlessness doesn't necessarily mean a beginner would be able to understand it, right? Like I know you're really smart at the thing you do, but buddy, like yeah, there's a lot of way you can make this book a lot better. this guy's got no philosophy around coding. I mean, like, coding is not philosophy, but then again, I'm trying to build a mental model that there's data and there's iteration happening in everywhere. So that's how coding functions. He is not building a model. He's like, okay, so code is like, we have variables, we have this, we have integers, we have string. He doesn't say why we have strings. Okay, why do we need that? Why do we need iteration? Why do we need data types? Right? There's no philosophy. There's no theory. There's like only this, and then you have to do the job of connecting the dots by yourself. Fuck you. Especially when you are the kind of person who does love connecting the dots by yourself. So then you're like stuck in this loop of connecting the dots and trying to understand all the things by yourself rather than just like absorbing it and gulping it down. Right. So my new card will update our meter. So, if modifying attribute value, like we can, we can update our attribute value. It's not modifying specifically per se. My Tesla. Oh yeah, you used to use that. Like finally, I remember. So instances are creating as simple as that. Yep, baby. Where was that? If I had to type has. Z2A. Yes. Python notes about how you can assign an instrument a class, right? So that's also something you can do, definitely. Right, so this is like the part. Okay, no, actually, yeah. So that's also something that you can do, right? If I remember. Sorry, systems.py, sorry, mean loop.py, sorry, function.py. Yeah, we're in classes. Okay, could you just shut up? Yeah. So we were here, and I cannot save this file because I'm trying to do the things by myself. So we created an instance. Now let's just assign some damage. Like this instrument has 500. Okay. I finally got it. So now we can have hundreds of instances, and each instance would have different value. Knife, we have katana. So katana can have a different damage, a different image. Finally. Okay. We finally got the concept. So, day one, project build, concept masters. Let's add 5 from 4. From 4, I mean, like the basic one, the variables, the for loop, the if statements, and yeah, different stuff like that. So like yeah, but actually we can go with 1, right? Because I did go 5. Okay, let's just go with 5 because it includes like if conditions. Like if I just open up the summary of the book, how many? Wait a sec, guys. Where's the PDF? I think here's the PDF, and let me just open it up. No, tables of content. How many concept do I got on? So input and while loops, dictionaries. But I think in live stream we just got one concept master, right? So rather than saying like in front of in the live stream, right? So right now let's actually start to track because that 4 is like pretty abstract. At that time I just thought like, so the concept master is not actually 5, but it's just 1. We've problem solved. Did we solve a problem? A code or bug error? No, we didn't solve anything like that. Project build. I did already build one project, but in front of live stream, that's 0. So I'll reset it to 0. Current domain is unit test. No, we are not actually unit test. The current concepts like current domain is Python. Current concept is just revision, right? Revision. So that is what we are doing. Revision. All right. Okay. Yeah. So I think that's pretty good, right? And let me just open scale. Let me just see it in another video. How does that look? Yeah, that looks pretty awesome, guys. Right. So, yeah. Like, okay, now I think we should probably come back to real work. What was it? Yeah, actually understanding like, so what did I got and how did I got it? So you see, the thing with the classes is like these classes, just think of classes as how should I say, as something that contains other thing, right? A data, but it doesn't contain. It's like a species, but not exactly a species. You can think in terms of association, right? It's like how do you associate a new instance to a class? And I'll say, okay, what do you mean by that, Varric? And I'm like, okay, guys, it's just as simple as that. Think of classes as as a container, no, they're definitely not a container. As a blueprint, they're definitely not a blueprint, because you're thinking, okay, this is like, they are like the origin, right? An instance is like something you create and assign. It's like it's like a blueprint of creating a knife and variety of knife. I see. That's why people simplify it to blueprint. That makes sense. But classes are associations, right? Which can change, right? Classes are association. Classes and instance is associations. For example, you have a class, right? This class is XYZ amount of stuff. It has like attributes, like, so attributes is pretty much association, that this class has this attribute, right? So if I were to take an open note, so this class has this attribute, and then these attributes can be altered from the association of the instances. So instances are part or object of that claim class. You can see classes have certain sort of attributes and certain sort of certain sorts of methods. That's all there is to. A class is something that has attributes, specific attributes, and specific methods, and it keeps tracking of those attributes and methods. And now, by using these attributes and methods, we can iterate onto any object of the class. Class contains object. Class is a data type that contains data, and an instance is just that you actually saying, quote unquote, that this is the new data type I want to create, and this new things must have this attributes and must have the ability or to achieve this straight transition that these methods are allows us to have to achieve. I know it sounds complex, but now it makes sense in my brain. So now you have a class. So you if I were to share, like, let's imagine you have this class. So this first is a class. There's connections, and I'm like, okay, I want this class. This fist has certain sort of attributes, certain sort of methods, like ability to move, the damage that it creates. That's its attributes. And there's state transitions. The state transitions, like how it changes, how iteration happens. We have like slight changes, right? Data, iteration, like iteration on data. So how does this fist change, and what attributes does it present? And if I want something else out there in the existence to have the same attributes and same changes or same ability to iterate in specific ways, that means that is my instance, right? And now I can assign. Finally, man, finally. Oh my God. Even last time I didn't get it. I was like just copy pasting and looking at what he was doing and trying to do the exact. I was mimicking. Right now I got the entire concept. So now, knife, like we have class weapon and we have assigned 500 the damage, and we can assign image, which is like blah, right? Or whatever the fuck we want to assign here. Like, okay, let's just assign that, right? Okay, it still doesn't show as image. Okay, because we are not using image here in any sense or something. So if we did assign blah, we did assign 500, so damage becomes 500, right? Because we did want like knife to have like certain sort of methods. Sorry, fuck myself. Certain sort of attributes. And we want katana to also possess those certain sort of attributes, though the value of attributes can be changed. This is the biggest part about fucking classes. And that's why they work so well. And we can also have different ways of changing on the basis of on the basis of these attributes. It's like association of attributes and adding methods on the top of that. Finally, everything makes sense. Finally, everything makes sense in my brain. I don't know. I've spent about 3 or 4 or 5 hours in classes and just understood like, okay, there's like attributes, there's like methods. Now everything is fucking connected. Now I can model literally anything. I can model humans. You have humans with a lot of different, okay. So let's say we can model anything now because like, oh fuck, it's fine. Let's say like, okay, let me just undo all of this shit real quick. All right. And let's just close this file. And if I just go to my testing.py, and if I do just one beautiful thing here, thingy, okay, control Z, good. Now we can model, let's say I can just take a class. Class is this, like a human, right? Like a, okay, no, not like a human, right? And human, like what does humans have, guys? And that like that we want that other humans will also have in common. And you'll say, oh, Varric, I think like humans have in right. There's a self. The self is just like what word are you going to use to recall the humans? That's all there is to the self, and the ability to constantly like create or add or change your attributes. The self is just pretty much your ability to actually call onto that, right? So we have a self, and all of this gets too abstract, right? All of this gets too complicated. If you don't have the skin in the game, that's why tutorial never works out. If you don't have the skin in the game, and if you're not constantly reflecting by yourself, you understand nothing. And I'll be just right back in a sec because I gotta go to washroom real quick. Just 1 minute. Actually, you know what? I will be back in. Okay, you know what? Let's just. Trust me, guys. I just love coding. I just realized it right now. It's one of the best things. Like put my cognition to the extremes, right? There's only a couple of things I love. Like first of all, what I love the most is like gym. No, not exactly the most. What I love the most is reading books. I mean, like, okay, if I reading books and now coding and then going to gym because physical exercise. But the thing is, like, I was never really the type to be dominant in physical exercise since early childhood. Like, I was the type of guy you would look in the library reading some comics or something like that. But then later I shifted to not like philosophy and then neuroscience, biology, and a lot of nonfiction. But I did start with comics, and after that I went into literary fiction. And trust me, literary fictions are the best. Like literary fiction's like, yeah, like there's no way any comic or any movie is ever coming close to literary fiction. And if you have read any literary fiction in the life, you know, and if you have the discipline to read, like comics are really easy to read. I still remember I used to read a lot of Diary of the Wimpy Kids and the Tom Gates when I was a kid, and they were really famous back then, and were like, you know, in the library, like my library, school library was filled of it, and I was like always that one kid who used to read them. And there was this another kid who actually used to read with me, and he was my best friend back then, though I didn't like them. Like we didn't share like this one thing about reading, but I never truly liked him, honestly. Not because he was a bad guy, but he was like kind of weird. But yeah, I'm not gonna talk about much him anyway because I don't even remember his name. What was his name again? It was back then, but oh, I actually do remember it. But yeah. So where were we? Not a single view came again. But who cares? I'm enjoying my time. Okay, the water bottle fell off, man. Back to the thingy, right? Phew. So you can literally take anything and model anything, and then you can create instances out of it. So, for example, take this monitor or take this laptop here, like this laptop that my, and take this mic. I can model mic, but the thing is there only one mic in this universe? Definitely not. There's millions of them. Is there's only one laptop in this universe? Definitely not. And this is what the classes give you the cheat code of, because they simultaneously around you allow you to model the things of the same species. For example, you're modeling a cat. That is the species. And now, is there only one cat in the universe? Of course not. There's millions of them with different speed, with different size, with different, you know, abilities. Right. So now what happens? I create a class human. I can create a class laptop. I can create a class mic, anything. And now just think of what a normal, like, do not think in terms of instance or anything. Just think, okay, I have a cat, I have I have a mic, I have a laptop. Like, let's say, and I have a human. Let's just say what all humans have in common, right? And then you'll say, okay, humans have in common, like, there's height, HEI, GST, the blood glucose level, there's oxytocin, like, you know, there's carbon dioxide, like, you know, there's insulin levels, there's like how big or how strong the tissues are, there's muscle, there's a lot of things every human in common. But we're gonna just take the set of data that is important for us, or the set of data that we care about. So now I'll say, okay, then we care about height, we care about, let's say, looks, we care about and we care about money, right? What money that a human possesses, and what else do we care about generally? We care about their gender and their age, right? And their age. Okay, sorry, I haven't showing my screen. So like you can hear. So this is what we care about, right? So I'm so I'm already writing. So you have like a self, height, looks, money, gender, age. This is generally what we care about. There's a couple of other things too that we slightly care about, but let's just go with them. So these are the things we care about in a human, right? And then we can have self.height. So now this function is pretty much gonna allows us to assess this variable and change it. All right, so we can have height, and then we have self.looks, which is gonna assign looks, and then we have a self.money, which is gonna assign us money. We have self.gender. All right, not gender, and then which is gonna allow us to pass down a gender, and then we have self.age finally, which is gonna have is age. So now what this does is, like, we can, whenever I type, like, you know, like, let's say a car.age, I can pretty much, like, self is like a human. Let's say, for example, your friend name is John. Whenever I type, let's say, John.age, what I'm pretty much doing, this self.age pretty much means that John.age, that any instance of this class would have certain specific height, certain specific looks, certain specific money, certain specific, for example, all the humans have height, looks, money, gender, but each human has a different height, has a different looks, has a different money, has a different gender, has a different age. And this is where our cheat code comes into the picture, because what we're technically doing here is that we create a called John, which is an instance of a class human. Human. Right. So now John has a certain height, certain look, certain money, certain gender, and certain age. So John has, let's say, 5'11". John is 5'11" like me. John, okay, sorry for that. John is 5. Okay, I mean it's an integer, so 170 centimeters. 170 centimeters is like John's height. John looks are low. We can say low, right? Like he doesn't look really good like me. And John doesn't have money, and so his money is also low, just like me. We both are poor, John. Don't worry, though, buddy. The gender of John is a female. Okay, no, John. Let's be brothers, guys, because like he's a male, right? So gender of John is male, and then his age is, let's say, mine too. Like he's 18. So we are kind of similar, but it's just that John kind of less ugly, right? Again, there you go. So that's how we model. So if I just type here that, let's say I want to know what's John dot, like let's say print for me, print for John dot age, right? Now it's gonna print John's age, right? If I just run the program, 18. That's what it pretty much does. Now you'll say, okay, why is it printing 18? Because I had this class human. All of the humans on Earth possess some height, looks, money, gender, age. I created one human, which is a data type, which is like the type of this class. So I created, like, I modeled all the humans in the world. I realized one day I woke up and I realized all the humans in the world has height, looks, money, gender, age. And then I like, okay, let me just get one human whose name is John, and his height, like it's like his height, looks, money, gender, and age. And then there's another human which is called Varric, and then there's let's like go with Varric. Varric is also a human. So, and what does my brother Varric possess? Varric possesses a height of 170 centimeters. Varric is like really high in looks. Varric is like really low, like not even low. He's like 0. Yeah, I mean he's 0 in money, and let's say he's a male, and let's say his age is 18. Like, so now there's a John, now there's a Varric. So now these both of them possesses the same attributes, but they have different values. See the thing? So now if I were to say, okay, Varric, Varric, like let's just try to Varric dot age, like Varric dot actually money, not age, then it's gonna print 0, 18 and 0. As simple as that, right? So now we have a class, we've modeled all humans, we have like created a blueprint for all humans. Now we've got the Varric, now we've got the John, which are instances of that, the model that we created, like part of that. And now there's another good thing that we can do is like methods. So what methods allow you to do is change these things. So for example, you have def, and then you have like poor, like poverty. You have poverty. If I'm not doing it wrong, like I did it wrong. You have self, right? So now if your money is 0, if let's say if self dot money equals 0, so now I'm providing iteration methods onto these. Like now I can iterate these attributes on the basis of conditions, right? This is if conditions, and on the basis of different laws or rules that I want, right? Now this is where it gets, if the money in the bank account gets 0, not low, but literal 0, let's say, then you got self.looks of any like, any Varric or whatever. Self.looks equals medium. Like if the bank account is low, and if the self.looks is equals to high, if self.looks is equals high, then self.looks now would become low. LF self.looks equals medium, then once again self.looks would become low, right? But if the LF self.looks equals low, then you would have a equals okay, I shouldn't ugly. If you get what this is, it's like John, I'm coming for you, buddy. So, so this is what we have. Right. So now what happens if the money is zero? Like all like this is what's gonna happen to you. So if I like varic.poverty. So if like now I can create a main loop where if money like if the values in the money is zero, then varic.poverty activates by itself. Right. So if let's say if I can have like a varic dot money equals zero, right? Varic is a class. Is if varic dot money equals zero, Control Z actually. Then I can add this poverty class, right? So like poverty, and then I can have varic. Right. Or am I getting this wrong? No, I'm definitely getting this wrong. I don't think so. You actually have that. You have this varic.poverty, right? Yeah, if I remember right. So now what happens? Like, yeah, zero. Right. And now print, what I wanted to print is varic dot looks. Okay. Now varic dot looks would be, oh man, now it's time for guys me to get ugly. Damn. Low. Fuck. So if you have high looks, it would become low if you are fucking poor. Poverty makes your looks go up. Like because like poverty makes you look ugly. If you don't know, that's a fun fact. Poor people tends to look ugly because not good nutrition, not good like they're constantly exposed to harmful sunlight, not good atmosphere around them, not a good room they have to like not a good food, not good conditions. They're living in dirty areas, not because they want to live in, but because they're poor and don't have a good infrastructure and anything or something like that. So they tend to become ugly over time, not because they're really ugly from the nature or something, but it's because they don't have no money, right? So so now varic becomes, but if you are already ugly, let's say if you are already like zero incomes when it comes to like when you're already like fucking poor or something. Right now what happens like John, I'm pretty sorry for you buddy, but John, this is like how the world works, John. Like why the fuck you were born like below average? You are also low too. What? John Ducks looks it shows low. If looks equals low, that means John Lawn looks equals low. Self-thought looks becomes ugly. But rather than showing ugly, it shows me low. Why? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it showed me ugly. It shows me ugly is not defined. What? What? I don't get what happened. Oh, guys, we have another error to fix. It's time for the first time to fix an error while in the video. We were doing a revision, but yeah, actually we did a moved from revision to kind of like classes. But I think yeah, we had kind of like doing revision, so let's not change that because I did the classes in the past, buddy. I think we need to debug it from here, like what happens when you actually run this line. So let's just run the debugger. Let's say for example, let's just run and debug Python debugger. So we have this print Python. Okay, we have like a step into F11. Okay. Ah, I see. I've already set it to low. So man, okay, actually I found it. I mean, like, yeah. Wait a sec, by the way. Let me just quickly throw this away. And I think we kind of like solved. Okay. Did I lagged? Oh, I lagged. No, I didn't lagged. So I kind of like problem solved one. So yeah, I think I'm gotta continuously update that. Right. You can see it simultaneously, right? Like, yeah. So problem solved is one. Right. And today's the day one as well. So we've got john.looks, right? But I didn't actually check if any instance of if self.money, for every what if I want to, because like here's the thing, I can just copy paste this, guys. Like I can just copy paste this, right? And I can just write John, and I can just write John, and it does the same thing. Now we've actually fixed the problem, right? Because now what happens is like uh, if you run the program, it's just so it's just ugly. Yeah, of course, I definitely knew that, because this function only applies if the John has zero money, right? So we needed conditions that checks that and updates the value before we kind of like try to check the values of these. So if we just copy paste that and if we just put them here, what happens is like it's gonna show us 0 and 0, and after like here it's gonna like sorry, it's gonna show us low and low, and here's gonna show low and ugly. No, it's gonna show us high and low, and then it's going to show us low and ugly, right? So this is what I'm predicting, and this is definitely what's going to happen, like high and low and ugly, exactly how I predicted it to be, right? But we need these conditionals to check each instance specifically. What if we create a condition that checks all the instances of a class specifically for us to actually initiate a method? Exactly what I said. And how do we do that? ChatGPT, my friend, is going to tell us how we do that. So how do I create a condition, a if condition that checks every instance of a class? So how do I create a code which constantly check every instances of a class? How do I create a code that checks every attribute of an instance of a class and initiate a method? But yeah, how do I create that? Through using this. I think we need to then create a def function. How the fuck I can forget such a simple thing that we had def functions out of the classes, right? So we have def dot money check, and money check is gonna do something ugly, right? Yeah. So money check. What's money check is gonna do for like? Money check is gonna initiate the poverty, right? I mean, like for example, I have money check. Oh my gosh. Right. Yeah. For every self, right? For every self. Yeah, this is why it's different. You cannot do that. That's why my brain didn't just click. I'm sorry for that, but it's a habit at this point. What is this wash? Wash dot. You can loop through them. Vars dot self is our ability. Okay, for name and value in vars dot self. So what does that do? Find them, call methods on them, and save them to a file. This is called interception and object examining itself. So what does pretty much do, like show attributes yourself for answer name max, print error name, attributes name, right? For attributes name and value in that. So what is the value that we had? Show attributes. Max Okay, age 5 for this little page here. Yeah, so for name and value. So what is associated to name? This is name and this is value. For money. But I can just do that not for name or value. I can just do that for money, right? All right. Right? But what if the intent, like I get this line, I get this like for name comma value in var dot self dot items. I mean this is how you loop through a dictionary, like yeah. But and list two is just that you remove one variable, but like yeah you just but what I want you to tell me is like what if the instance has more than, let's say, two things. Let's say for example I'm modeling a human called John, and like using a class, and then he is like John equals human, which is a part of a class human. So John equals humans in a bracket, there's 170, there's low, like 170 comma low comma 0 comma male comma 18. What if like an instance contains more than 3 or 4 attributes associated to it? Temperature, mood, money, gender, age. Well, initially Python or something like this. Do Python takes one key value for the dictionary and places it into as long as there's key value. No, but what if I just want to access one attribute called money, right? If money is the only attribute I care about, I want to create an if conditions that only checks like money. And if money is like certain Biro threshold, let's say money is 0, then I need to create a, like make it run another function, and I can do that. I can pretty much do that. But what I want is like to just check money. No, 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 no. I'm broke. I'm broke. No, but here's the thing. I have multiple instances and I want to check the money of those multiple instances. You don't get the thing. That's what I'm saying from the start. Yeah. I can do that. I can do that. So each time there's a new instance, what happens is that each time you create a new instance, it's got appended into a list. A list loops through, and then it got appended. Oh, there's a way to do that. Yeah, I didn't thought of it. It's been a long time since I last actually studied lists and dictionaries and actually worked on a project with them. Over a month. That's why I'm not able to connect such a simple thing. Yeah, I could have definitely done that. If you have a method, normally keep a nice list of instances for you. A common pattern is human dot all humans dot append, which contains John's. So you do human dot money, which is like the John dot money is equals. So we have like this little thing here that kind of like changes our game and allows us to play a game of like a. So we have human dot all humans, but then again, then we need a tick. We have human, and we need a. Yeah, so we have human equals this. Right. No, sorry. All humans, right? Aha, man, can't even copy. Underscore human. All human, and then we have not such as human, and there's one big mistake I made. Human. That should be in capital, guys. Such a biggie. Why print? Why this print is showing a problem? Wait, what? Is that an error? Wait. I don't know why this print is showing the error out of nowhere. What the fuck is wrong with you, buddy? Print? Indentation expected and def. Okay, sorry. Def.money.check. Let's just remove this bitch here. Yeah, that's how I fix my print, buddy. Wait, what, guys? What are you doing? Print, fix yourself, buddy. Wake up. It's 2022. What's... Wait, what? What if I create, let's say I just create a list of like all the attributes, but how do I create a list of all the attributes? But how do I append the instances if not collect them? So if I have like another instance, this instance and this instance, adds up, right? Append self? But how about this? All humans dot append. Ah, but it doesn't function. I just added all human. Now it should work. Print. How does the print is showing name error? Ah, this is... Fuck, it's print. There were two errors. First indentation error and then like the print error. Oh my gosh, having two errors simultaneously. We solved two more problems, man. Alright, so this is our second problem solved. Well, look, so now if like humans dot all humans dot append self. So from human, all the, so in human we have all the humans. So what is all the humans? So in humans, like what is a human here? Human is a list or class. From how do you, like, for example, if I have a name dot append, or if I'm taking like a value from a list or something, like how am I doing that? That itself is a thing. All right, I think I have a habit of shaking my leg, which makes my body shake a little. Just noticed that. Right, but actually, let's get back to work for a sec. Let's fix my seat a little, bitches. Yeah, so I've been streaming for 2 hours and 25 minutes, man. I think for 1 hour, we were just like having or doing nothing, so that's all right. Let's just stream for about 20-30 minutes more and then just relax. Actually, I am tired. Now, oh man. And then I have to do a YouTube project too in the afternoon and then go to gym. I mean, I need to get used to studying 4 hours a day. Overtime neuroplasticity would catch you up to make a study longer. I mean, the real neuroplasticity, I guess. that is required to study that long. I think 1 hour study is better than nothing actually. But if I were to, let's say, just come back again and we have to solve this today. So, but I don't know the human thingy here. Like, how is like does the class stores like all the instances on the human file or something, and that's how like all humans, and then the God appends it to like all the instances are then accessed through humans. Hey, I don't get like. Could you explain the more deepened function behind this line? I need to ask that to my friend ChatGPT. But what it does, so now I just need to create a function which says like, yeah, it's kind of fucking easy at this point. For people in all kind of like underscore humans. Now I just need to change it to people. Control C, Control V. F all human. You need an indentation. Control Z. You just need to do that. And all human. What is wrong with you guys? Why is there an indentation error? We need to inherit all human from here. All underscore human. We inherit all human from here. So this comes from here. So how do we pass down all humans though? Or does that happen automatically? I don't know. We have to just test it out at this point. For people in all human, if people don't look so high, people don't look low. So Varric look should be low and John's look should be ugly. Low and ugly should be the outcome. High and low. So Varric has dot looks. Yeah. Because there should be a condition, right? And that is if Control V, Control Z actually, Control C, Control V, if people the money equals 0, then and only then this condition appears. All right. Yeah. So I think now it should work. Right. So if people look okay. Low, but that didn't happen because we never ran the def function for it to take place or take action. I got it. Oh yeah, and now I just need to how do I make it run now? how do I make it run? I'm forgetting a lot part of codes actually. That's what's causing me to not actually build connection. I think this is what majority of the coding is. You forget and then you kind of like try to recall. But I don't know. Okay, what's wrong in my code? Tell me that. And and also tell me what this line is doing here. ChatGPT got that wrong though. Ah. I did got the most of it right. Then what did I go wrong? There was like one indentation problem. Yeah, because I didn't know how would I call the function. This is the biggest problem in my function because like here's the thing, like I thought when I did John.poverty and it's like it's gonna call everything, which is kinda good, but it's like, is there a better and a proper way to call it? The global event. Ah, you can do that to a class method. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So now what? Human. Okay, do I need to actually subduce that to human.poverty? Poverty.cls. Ah, I see. So it's not actually. for itself. Yeah, and actually, I did get that you can create a specific class or something, but I'm not gonna do that. Let's be honest. I do not know how class method functions, and it's another mess I can just smell from far away. Though I have to kind of like tackle that in the future, later, sooner or later. But now I think finally we got it. Yeah, ugly, low, ugly, ugly. So it runs the iteration again and again. 2 times? Why is it running 2 times? I don't know, and I do not have the calorie to know. So we're gonna continue this tomorrow. And thanks for watching. And yeah, I'm kind of tired and I'm kind of hungry. And let's just look at how many hours did we study today, because like we need to keep track of that. Honestly, my target is just 4 hours, but let's just say we study for about 2 hours. So we have a stream of 2 hours and 40 minutes. That means 40 minutes were wasted onto doing nothing and just doing bullshit. But we did study for almost 2 hours. But let's just reduce 4 or 5 minutes, like 4 minutes. So we study about 1 hour and 45 minutes, right? Which is a good thing, right? And then we have to increase it to all the way to 4 hours. But I'm pretty not capable of that, even after like sleeping such less amount of sleep. So yeah, but tomorrow I think I would be able to do that, honestly. But yeah, man, I'm tired. I'm really tired. At this point, I just wanted to quickly fix it up, but then I realized it's gonna take some time. So, ha. If you have watched till the oh fuck, wait a sec. You cannot see the screen. Here's it is. We studied for 1 hour and 54 minutes, and I forget to show the screen. So yeah, so we study for that, but I'm just gonna decrease it to some degree, which is like let's say 1 hour and 45 minutes. So we study for that, and we have to increase this to 4 hours, effective 4 hours, not more than that. We are not going to go more than 4 hours actually, because I do not have time. And I think after 4 hours, there's diminishing returns onto this activity that you're or whatever you're doing, right? So yeah, that is like, yeah, I think no one actually watched the stream. Like, there's still 0 views. Yeah, yeah, not a single soul watched this. What? Oh yeah, I did chat views. Yep, the views are zero. Everything is zero because like I just created a new channel, and how would the YouTube would know, right? That there's any channel or something like that. So nice meeting you guys. Meet you in the next part. So next time you're gonna learn about a lot of different stuff. Man, and I'm tired. Bye bye guys. Like really bye this time. Man.